Sims Walker, knocked down.
Oh my God! Davis is going running all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game.
In trouble. He's going to be sacked. No, gets away. He runs, gets away again, goes to the 40, gets away again.
Jackson takes it himself. Look at him dart back and forth. Oh! He broke his ankles.
I have never seen this before in my life.
Still looking. Firing. Near corner. It's caught! Denver! Unbelievable!
And welcome to the fourth down fiasco.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Fourth Down Fiasco, your go-to podcast for all things football, brought to you by BetStamp. BetStamp is the sports bookie of all sports bookies because they have everything all in one place just for you. You can check them out at signupexpert.com/fiasco. They've got BetMGM, Bet365, Caesars, FanDuel, all the big name sports bookies all in one place just for you. Again, that is signupexpert.com/fiasco and place a $10 bet. Because there's plenty of things to bet on. And, we might have some potential MVP bets that y'all might want to place. And just remember, as always, if you win something, it's completely on us. And if you lose your life savings, we are not legally responsible. So with that, as always, I have my co-hosts and contributors with me, Danny Weber, Tanner Vinsky. Say hello to the people for me, y'all.
Hello.
Whoop, whoop. All right. So, yes, today we are going to be talking about way too early NFL season awards. So, OPOY, DPOY, MVP, things of that nature. And so let's start here with Offensive Player of the Year. Gentlemen, Puka Nacua, Jonathan Taylor, how are we feeling?
What's crazy is you're saying way too early, but we're already a quarter of the way through the season.
I know. Nuts. Basketball's about to start, which is wild to me.
We had a sports equinox the other day.
Oh, yeah. What is it? All four sports?
Four major sports played on one day.
Hell yeah, brother. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Don't make me mute you.
All right, let's talk ball, though. Puka Nacua. How we feel about Puka?
2 major holidays before we get to Christmas.
Well, it's America. Capitalist holidays. Puka, how we feeling?
Dude, Puka's been balling. Dude,
Tanner, I know you've been really high on him.
Well, it's the class. I don't know. Every time Stafford has had like a good season and he has a receiver balling out, I mean, they just break records. And Puka's on case. He's on pace to hit 2,000 yards this season. I mean, relatively easily. I mean, he's already at 588 through 5 weeks. I mean, that's ridiculous. You don't see that type of production typically from a receiver. And he's just dominant. There's not really a lot to say about it. Like, no one can cover him. He's just consistently open. He's consistently breaking open. And he catches everything thrown in the general vicinity of him. It's just ridiculous, the level of production that Puka's been at this season.
Yeah. I mean, I remember whenever we were when he was going through the draft process and he ran that 4.640 and everybody was like, I don't know. Can we get a 4.6? Because it was like a 4.6.5. Can we get a guy that's not fast? Blah, blah, blah. And now here he is, and he's the best wide receiver in the league right now, at least. I know that changes every year, but right now he's the best wide receiver in the league.
I brought it up a couple times on the podcast, but there's this video the Rams released about they have this proprietary computer software that they use to help with their draft. And for whatever reason, the system listed Puka as like a second or early third round pick. And he was still there in I think the 5th round was when he was drafted.
Yeah, 5th round.
And basically their software is do it. Why no one else is taking him, I have no clue. You have to take this guy. And I think the software nailed that one on the head.
Hey, shout out AI for the win.
I have this theory that the combine actually causes teams to overthink the draft process.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing with the combine is you're not really testing for football skills necessarily. You're just going off of raw athleticism most of the time. And a RAS score is going to tell you about raw athleticism a lot better than the combine's going to do while they're not wearing pads and they're just in street clothes, right? Like
not even street clothes anymore.
Yeah, they're like in their underwear essentially, you know. It's I don't know. I think there's a lot of push on the combine that I just don't think is necessary. I mean, we're even seeing this Cam Scatabo. Like he had a bad combine 40 and everyone's like, oh, he's too slow to play running back. And it's like, yeah, but did you watch him play college football? I mean, yeah, he run like a 4.7 or whatever it was at the combine, but he wasn't running that on the field when he was playing. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Like just because he dashed poorly one day of the year doesn't mean he's going to do that all 365 days of the season.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Combine need to take it with a grain of salt, in my opinion. It's good to get like measurements for unsung guys that we don't know about, but
sure. Yeah. I think the combine is great for, you know, your like lower tier Division I schools, your Division I AA, you know, those guys who get the invite and they're there to show what they can do. Cause sure. Yeah. It's some dude from NDSU. If he runs a 4.35, now we're on notice. Cause it's like, all right, we've got a freak athlete on our hands. But with a lot of these bigger schools, dude, I think tape is way more important. And Puka was a problem in college. And so it's no surprise that he's a problem now, you know, and he's always been known for running great routes, having a high IQ, having super sure, strong hands. And also he's kind of a big dude too. He doesn't always look it like he's super lean. But man, I've seen him fight off some tackles this season where I'm like, dude, how did you get out of that? So, you know, there's just some things that don't translate to the combines that you got to watch tape for.
Yeah. I don't know. But Tanner, you're saying about how he just kind of catches everything. I'll go game by game splits real quick. I'll go start week 1. 11 targets, 10 catches. 9 targets, 8 catches. 15 targets, 11 catches. 15 targets, 13 catches. 12 targets, 10 catches.
No, I mean, it's just fuck it, chuck it anywhere close to him. You know, it's the same thing Stafford was doing with Megatron. You know, same shit he was doing with Cup. You know, like when he builds that chemistry with his guys, I mean, they break stats. Like they break record books. And I think Puka is on his way to do it this season.
Stafford's been a part of, 2 of the top 3 receiving
like wide receiver campaigns ever. Yeah.
Cooper Kupp and Calvin Johnson.
Yeah. Which, you know, we'll have plenty to say about our boy Matthew Stafford here in a little bit. I think that the connection between those two also is incredible. I did watch this past game, and I know that the Rams lost to an underhanded San Fran team, which I have to say, for a team that had a bunch of backups on the field, my God, they were, especially with poor Mac Jones putting it on the line for San Fran. I hate San Fran. Y'all know I hate San Fran, but I became a Mac Jones fan over this weekend because that dude was limping. He'd get crushed, leg bent all funny. He'd shake it off. He'd limp back to the line and he'd throw another dart. So crazy. But yeah, all that to be said, the connection though between Stafford and Puka Nacua has just been money this season. It's been so fun to watch. And I love a good yak, and I love yak receivers. And Puka Nacua is a yak receiver. He has a nasty stiff arm. I've seen him drag people. He's also got a lot more wiggle than I think people give him credit for. So it's a good time. Also, on our Offensive Player of the Year, we do have one Jonathan Taylor playing for the Indianapolis Colts. Taylor's also been playing out of his mind and has, in his own right, helped Daniel Jones be Indiana Jones. So how are we feeling about Jonathan Taylor in that 2 spot for OPOY?
Jonathan Taylor, when he's been lucky or when he's been healthy, man, like he's had a phenomenal career. Like,
sure.
It's insane what Jonathan Taylor's been able to do each season. Like he's been healthy and playing, and he's showing it again this year. I mean, I don't think anybody was really talking about Jonathan Taylor going into the season because he didn't really do. I mean, he had a good season last season, but it wasn't anything insane, right?
Sure.
And he was starting to just get undervalued. You know, like no one was really taking him too seriously. I mean, I'm sure most people would still have him in a top 10, right? Like, I don't think he would sit there and say Jonathan Taylor's outside the top 10, but I mean, he's been the best running back in football this season. And a lot of the running backs that people were expecting to be the best this year, he's looked way better than them. I mean, he's been better than, people were hyping up Ginty as this generational prospect. He was going to come in, be the best running back in the game. Guarantee he's probably behind one of the worst O-lines in the NFL, but he hasn't played nearly as efficiently as Jonathan Taylor. Saquon hasn't played nearly as efficiently as Jonathan Taylor. Derrick Henry's been playing not nearly as efficient. Yeah, same with Chase Brown. And there's offensive line troubles in all those situations, and maybe in Indianapolis not dealing that. But if you watch the games, I mean, Jonathan Taylor's making a lot happen on his own. This isn't just him being a beneficiary of a good O-line, Yeah.
And I do want to point out, so, we mentioned the 480 rushing yards, also has 133 receiving yards on the season, does have a receiving touchdown, has 6 rushing touchdowns, has had 2 different games where he's had 3 touchdowns on the ground. And that's nuts. That is, you talk about a 5-game sample size, they're pretty good. 7 total touchdowns across 5 games, and roughly, what is that? About 625 total yards. Pretty good. Pretty damn good.
Yeah, it helps. Like, his team hasn't had a quarterback the last couple of years. Even when he is healthy, it's like, oh, what do you expect? A run. What do you expect? A run.
Sure. Yeah,
like, passing him going, it opens up the running game, and it's just football. Like, it's not a hindrance to him. It's like, all right, give me the rock, and then I'm going to go bust off a big play.
Sure. And I mean, in comparison to what we've seen, Daniel Jones is playing out of his mind right now, and it's awesome. He's second or third in the league in passing yards? He's top 5. Yeah, he's third with 1,290 pass yards. So, there's a reason why the Colts are 4-1. Colts look good, man. It's fun. I think the NFL is better when the Colts are good. Hot take.
No, I agree. I mean, I don't have any bad blood with the Colts, so I'm not going to complain about the Colts being good. The Steelers and the Colts were both the receiving end of the Tom Brady dynasty. So,
fair.
we share a lot of frustrations as 2 AFC teams who didn't get to do a whole lot when they were in their primes. But I mean, I don't know. It's crazy that Daniel Jones went to Indianapolis and turned into Peyton Manning. I don't know how that happens. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it has more to say with how good of a coach Shane Steichen is or how bad Anthony Richardson was, right? Like, I don't know which one is more true, but
both can be true.
I was about to say, both can be true. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who you give more credit to, though. And
when your head coach says, hey, we don't want to injure this quarterback, so the backup doesn't have to come in, that means your quarterback's pretty ass.
Pretty bad. Crazy Tomlin quote. And this is crazy because I would have told you 2 weeks before the season started, I would have said, Daniel Jones is probably top 3-5 worst quarterbacks in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Like, genuinely horrible. I didn't even like the decision. I was like, the Colts are going to suck this year. Why play Daniel Jones? Like, just, Anthony Richardson's so young, just keep throwing him out there and maybe something will click. Like, you took a raw prospect, but the reason why I'm not coaching.
There you go. I was about to say, they saw something that we didn't. Scouting department was doing their homework.
It's on point.
So, gun to your head, season ends today. Who are you picking for OPOY, Puka or Jonathan Taylor?
I would take Puka at this current stage. I mean, we'll see as the season develops, but Puka, what he's been doing has been just a little more impressive.
I would agree with that.
Okay. I might be different. I'm going to go with Jonathan Taylor on this one just because once I realized the receiving yards too and factoring that in, I was like, okay, Jonathan Taylor's been he's been doing the damn thing.
He's been balling. But I looked it up. Puka leads the NFL in yak yards as well.
See, I told y'all, I love a good yak motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Dude has 31 receiving first downs on 52 receptions.
That's disgusting.
That is wild.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
And he's only not caught, I listed it off before, but seeing it there in person, he's only not caught 10 of his targets. He is 52 of 62. That's stupid.
Man. Well, yeah, I think the offensive player of the year race, at least at this moment in time, when you're excluding quarterbacks, because normally we save those for MVPs. When we're talking strictly just the positional players, seems like those two are kind of starting to really, there's a bit of a gap, I feel like. I know Jackson Smith and Najigba has been, balling out respectively in Seattle, but I don't know, just the way that Puka has been dicing up defenses just feels different. And I know James Cook is only 30 yards behind rushing wise of Jonathan Taylor, but again, it does feel like those two they've had their marquee performances. And I think that James Cook and Najigba have not had their marquee performances yet.
And I think both of those guys could enter the conversation as we get further in the year, because JSN has also been a monster this year.
Sure.
I don't know what OSU is doing with their receivers, but each year, the OSU receivers have been just ridiculous. They've been
wide
so
receiver,
good.
you baby.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, between them and LSU, if you look at the top 10 receiving yards right now, you got Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, both LSU, JSN, Igbuka, both OSU. Amon-Ra was also OSU, right? Or
Amon-Ra was not OSU.
Garrett Wilson was, though, right?
Garrett Wilson was.
Yeah, I was like, one of the two of them
is
did.
The USC guy. Puka is
right.
a BYU guy.
Still, just looking at your top 10 receiving yards, you got two schools that take up half the list.
Half the list.
Yeah.
Well, something else that those two schools are known for is how well they put together their defenses. And let's talk about defensive player of the year. So we've got two candidates. We've got Nick Bonito out of Denver, 7 sacks, and then Devin Lloyd, Jacksonville Jaguars, 4 interceptions. How are we feeling about our DPOYs? Anybody else that y'all want to toss into the mix besides those two?
I don't think off the top of my head. Those are the two guys that I think have had just genuinely game-breaking performances so far through the season. Yeah. And the game last night that just happened, we record these on Tuesdays, but the game that happened between Kansas City and Jacksonville, I would say Devin Lloyd is outside of what was happening on, if you were to pick one defensive player on that entire team, Devin Lloyd was the reason that Jacksonville won this game.
Sure.
He was a game wrecker against Kansas City.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah. And sorry, you got it, Danny.
No, I want to throw in just as kind of like an honorary mention kind of guy, but I feel like Brian Burns is having a hell of a season.
Okay.
23 tackles, 5 sacks, 3 pass breakups, and a forced fumble.
Ooh, that is a little spicy. I like that. Yeah. No, I was going to toss in that, you mentioned, Tanner, the performance that Lloyd had last night, which for our audience, Monday night, and how dominant he was in that game. And he kind of took over on the defensive side a little bit, which is always hard to do. We talk about that all the time on this pod about how hard it is to take over a game as a defensive player. But Nick Bonito, honestly, if it weren't for him, Denver doesn't beat the Eagles straight up.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
2.5 sacks and, some very timely tackles down the stretch. Nick Bonito was an absolute monster out there and kind of willed his team to a W in that game. And I'm trying to take a look real quick just at some of his other performances. I know that they lost to the Chargers, but he's part of the reason why they even stayed close in that game with his
2 sacks.
Yeah. He's had multiple sack performances already in the season. Through 5 games, having 7 sacks is disgusting.
His last 3 games, he's had over a sack and a half.
That's nuts. Yeah, he's on pace to, what is the record 21 sacks?
He's on pace to beat it during the regular
22
season.
and a half.
Before the end of the season.
Yeah. So currently, if we were to just say currently, he is on pace to break the sack record, which would be wild if he did. I don't foresee it because normally after a while, teams start to realize how they need to scheme against you, and then your teammates start benefiting from that because they start to double and triple you and all that stuff. So Denver's defense is going to be fine regardless, but his personal stats might take a hit once people start gaming.
Nick Bonito's been balling for the last couple years, though, and they still.
Oh, yeah, no, he's a phenomenal player. I'm just saying 22 and a half sacks there's a reason why that record has stood the test of time.
No, yeah, he had 13 and a half last year, and that's.
Jeez.
He
a
went
dog.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He went on a 6-game stretch with a sack. Then 0, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Then a 5-game stretch with at least recording a half a sack.
Oh yeah, I've been very, very impressed with him. I tuned into the tail end of that Denver Eagles game once I knew that my Cowboys had everything locked up for the day. Of course, I was hate watching the shit out of that game. And having spent as much time in Colorado as I have, I've kind of adopted Denver as my second team. I've adopted the Nuggets as my second team. I love all things Colorado sports. And I had so much fun watching the end of that game and watching the dreaded Philadelphia Eagles, the illiterate city of Philadelphia, fall to their knees.
Been calling them frauds, so.
Huh?
I've been calling them frauds, so.
Oh yeah, they are wildly fraudulent, and I'm glad that we got to see a little glimpse of that.
See what happens when Jalen Hurts actually has to throw the ball? He only had 2 rushes. He only ran the ball twice.
Oh man, yeah. You see what happens whenever wide receivers actually catch the ball down the stretch when they need to. Sorry, that was a stab at my own people.
Yeah, I'm still a little worried about Bo Nix though. He missed quite a few deep ball throws. Yeah,
he's been a little off. I don't know. I feel like his mechanics looked better last season as a rookie. I don't know. There's always that dreaded sophomore slump that guys go through, but maybe he gets it together. I hope he does, because, watching him in college was a thing of beauty, and I really do think I'm a Bo Nix believer, and I do think that version of him is in there somewhere.
Yeah, but there's so many passes this year that he's just overthrown a guy by 4 yards, and it's just walk-in touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to shit on Bo Nix too much because I feel like I do it enough. But with Bo Nix, I feel like last season there was just a countrywide psychosis to the quarterback they were watching. And a lot of the mechanical issues he has were there when he was a rookie. He still was inaccurate on deep balls. He still was, inaccurate throwing into the flat. He had a hard time playing the sidelines. These are things that have been existent in his career, and they're things that he can fix. It's just always tough when you have a guy who's, limited in his arm strength. He's not the greatest athlete compared to a lot of the other NFL talent. And that's really hard nowadays with just the quarterback athleticism that's present in the NFL. There's just guys that come out that are freaks. And like I said, I don't think Bo Nix is a horrible quarterback. You can absolutely win games with him. You can absolutely make the playoffs. I just think Bo Nix has a ceiling. And unfortunately, where the Broncos are at and the competition they're going against. Luckily it's a weaker AFC. So, if your defense plays lights out and Bo Nix game manages and does what he needs to do, you could make a run for it. You could make some noise because of how weak things are. But if you get into a shootout with the top QBs in the league and you're sitting there and you're in Buffalo playing, you go to Buffalo and you're in a shootout with Josh Allen on the other end, you're going to be real upset you got Bo Nix under center, right?
Yeah.
It's not going to go well.
I didn't fact check this, but a couple people told me Bo Nix was actually the most accurate quarterback on 20-plus yard passes. But if you look at the stat line, it's all at the 20, 21-yard mark. Anything past, it's horrible. But he was right at that 20-yard mark. He was one of the most accurate quarterbacks last year, which is wild.
So he's a great intermediate thrower, which is good. A lot of quarterbacks struggle heavily in that range, but again, with just where we're at in the passing league nowadays, your ability to stretch the ball down the field, that says a lot to your ceiling in the NFL. And if Bo Nix can't figure it out, and luckily he's got Sean Payton, he is able to disguise these schemes and he's able to put this offense around him to make it efficient. We saw that his rookie year. And if, Sean Payton can help him figure it out a little bit better and get him there, like I said, you could fuck around and you could go on a run with Bo Nix. It's just your ceiling's capped. I don't know if you can beat the juggernauts of the NFL. And luckily this year, we're not really seeing any. So it helps.
And Jalen Hurts is kind of the same way with deep balls. We saw it even Sunday against the Broncos, that A.J. Brown pass. Yes, A.J. Brown stopped a little bit, but
A.J. Brown stopped a lot of it on that play. Yeah. I think if A.J. Brown would have kept going, I think it would have been he would have had to have extended, maybe fallen forward a little bit for it, but he could have gotten there.
No, yeah, but Hurts should have seen him before. He was open on it was a nice little stop and go route, and he had the dude beat as soon as he did the stop and go. It's like Hurts, there was a clean pocket. He didn't need to rush, and he just held on to the ball.
Yeah. And as passers, I see Jalen Hurts and Bo Nix in a very similar range as passers. Like they operate a very similar space in my mind. The only reason I would prefer Jalen Hurts is because he has that rushing upside, right? Now, I will take some of Bo's, decision making over Jalen Hurts because Bo Nix can sometimes spot his open targets a little bit better than Jalen Hurts. But again, when you get into the top end athleticism of QBs, you always get into okay, do I want to have an easier time passing the ball, or do I want a guy that can be a game wrecker because of how he rushes the ball, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes that's going to be able to disguise against opposing offenses. But we were in our defensive player discussion, and we randomly started talking about QBs. So I did want to give one more shout out real quick because I completely forgot about him. Aiden Hutchinson has also had a great season coming back from injury. He's up to 5 sacks now. He's got 12 QB hits. I don't think right now, if we were to pick a guy, I would pick him just because he's had a little bit of a slow start. But I mean, if you watch the Lions, I think Aiden Hutchinson could explode. And Aiden Hutchinson is the guy that I believe in to be a 20 sack plus guy. So I could see it happening.
You'll probably be a little bit lenient on your one leg too, coming after a snapped femur or shin or whatever.
Exactly.
It was.
Yeah, it was a terrible injury last year.
Yeah, that was
for him to come back and do what he's doing. Holy cow.
It's nuts. Yeah, definitely. If nothing else, you got to give him comeback player of the year.
There's another guy that could be CPOY.
Like a Javonte Williams
or a Indiana Jones.
Does it really count as a comeback if he was just ass last year? I feel like that's more of a most improved.
They did that with Joe Flacco the one year. They gave Joe Flacco comeback player of the year instead of what's his face? DeMar Hamlin, who died on the football field.
Yeah, literally died for our sins. Sure.
So there's not really a conventional ruling for comeback.
If you were bad the year before and you came back and played well, that's CPOY.
That's most improved, and I will die on that hill as a basketball guy. That is MIP.
Dude, Burrow's about to win his third CPOY.
Yeah.
Bro, all right. That tells me that we need to segue. Since we've been talking a lot about quarterbacks, maybe it's time that we actually discuss the MVP race a little bit. We've at Fourth Down Fiasco, we've chalked it up to there are 4 quarterbacks right now that are playing lights out that are, some of them are having to drag their team a little bit more than some others. But the 4 quarterbacks being Dak Prescott, Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, and our boy Matthew Stafford. So, gentlemen, out of those 4, who is your favorite for MVP this year so far?
I'm loving Baker. He's just exciting.
I mean, we are the #1 Baker Mayfield podcast in the nation. We've been pushing because we're not just Baker Mayfield fans. We are Baker Mayfield agenda pushers, and we have microphones, and that's what we do. So
our Twitter bio for the longest time was Baker Mayfield's #1 podcast or something like that with his contract information on it.
Yeah, it was.
It literally still is. I went to go check because I remember we had it. Our Twitter bio is still Baker Mayfield is winning the only trophies that matter.
I love everything about that. So, all right, Danny, for you, it's Baker. Tanner, for you, is it Baker as well?
I lean Baker as well. I do think there's a good argument for the other 3 guys, though. Josh Allen's going to probably have the most impressive record by the end of the year. He's probably going to put up godly numbers. So you could definitely give it there. Dak Prescott, I think, is going to have the best numbers out of all 4 of these guys. But it's going to be hard to give MVP to a team that might win 7-8 wins, right?
Whoa.
It's looking a little tough so far. That's all I'm saying. This beginning of the season's been a little rough, but I do think Dak. If the Cowboys fuck around and get to the playoffs, I would give it to Dak Prescott. That's where I'm leaning. I just don't have a lot of faith in that Cowboys roster to get there, so that's why I lean Baker. And Stafford, I think, is also a good shout, but just the way Baker's winning is why I lean giving him MVP, because through 5 games, he has 4 game-winning drives.
In the last minute.
He almost fucking did it against Philly. Yeah. He almost did it against Philly, too. So he could have been 5 for 5 starting this season.
That was wild.
It's insane. And this team, the game he had against Seattle, I mean, it's literally video game numbers. Like, that's when you're playing on rookie and you're sitting there and you didn't put any defensive players on your team at all. And you're just back and forth. It's phenomenal. I don't know. Baker, I think, is just going to keep having these vintage performances. I think of the quarterbacks in the NFL, he might have the best clutch gene of any quarterback right now. And it's crazy to say because it's been a little bit since we've seen a QB. I mean, besides Mahomes for the couple of year stretch where he was doing it, but outside of him, I mean, since, Brady's kind of left and since we lost some of the old guard with Drew Brees, Ben Roethlisberger, Aaron Rodgers getting older, a lot of those guys, because those guys were always fourth quarter balls in their hand. You're fucked. They're winning the game. And I see it every time Baker gets on the field. I don't even worry. I just see Baker in the fourth quarter with the ball in his hands. I'm like, oh, Bucks win. And when you have that effect as a quarterback, I don't know. That's an MVP to me.
Sure. No, I mean, I heard someone the other day say that Baker Mayfield is basically like the modern day Roger Staubach, because for Roger, they used to say he didn't lose games. He just ran out of time. And that's kind of how it feels like with Baker, of Baker doesn't lose games. The clock might run out and he may not be able to have time to finish his drive, but Baker does not lose games, And so it's been cool to see. I do want to just mention, and Tanner, you were kind of touching on it a little bit. There was that old guard back in the day of, your Drew Brees, your Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, those guys and that group of quarterbacks that we all loved growing up. And it's been really cool to see, especially with this year, there's been a lot of quarterbacks that you thought were dead to rights that have been making these incredible comebacks and making themselves relevant quarterbacks. I have enjoyed the Sam Darnold journey, not saying he's necessarily in the same group as some of these other guys I'm about to list off, but, Jared Goff has become a dog over the years. I remember his LA Rams days. It was he's serviceable as long as he doesn't lose us the game, we're fine. But I've seen Jared Goff win some games on his own, and it's cool to see. And, Dak being one of those guys, and seeing Daniel Jones actually revive, come from the dead, basically. No DeMar Hamlin here, but come back from the dead to be a decent quarterback. And Baker Mayfield, and just some of these guys that I feel like our top 10 quarterbacks this season look a lot different than they normally do.
Someone said it kind of looks like a 2017 NFL when we had Blaine Gabbert and stuff in the AFC finals, or the Derek Carr.
No, that was Bortles. That wasn't Gabbert.
Blake Bortles, yeah.
That was the boat, dude. Fucking.
And Case Keenum, all that. Yeah. But you talked about Jared Goff. Over the last 3 years, Jared Goff and Baker Mayfield lead the NFL in passing yards.
Good for them. Yeah. Good for them.
Ethical hoops in the NFL right
now. Ethical hoops. Hell yeah.
Since Baker Mayfield joined Tampa Bay, he is in top 2 in passing yards.
Yeah. Now, so I gave y'all the opportunity to say who y'all's MVP favorite is. Obviously, I have to be a homer here.
Not well, sorry.
If it wasn't for the fact that there is a man with a star on his helmet on this list, I would definitely go Baker Mayfield. But just because the Cowboys would be 0-5 right now if it weren't for one Rain Dakota Prescott.
Can I give an MVP award to someone who's not even playing? Because I feel like Joe Burrow could be in the MVP conversation.
Get out of here, bro.
Because look how bad Cincinnati is without Joe Burrow.
Danny, I love you, but
you're doing the Justin Herbert, dude. You're doing the if man. Oh my God. The what is it? The triumvirate of if quarterbacks Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, like all three of those guys. It's like, oh, if only they weren't injured all the time. If only they had everything around them. If only, it's like
Burrow was 2-0 before he got hurt. Now look at us.
Brother, that is some very spicy meat you're writing right now. Okay.
Hey, we got Joe Flacco in us, so we're good.
I saw someone compare Joe Burrow to Kyrie Irving, where they were like 0 rings, 0 MVP, 0 offensive players of the year.
Kyrie has a ring. Calm down.
Oh yeah, well Kyrie does have a ring, yeah. But they were just saying like all of these things, like it was like all he has. It was like all of these no accolades, but all these TikTok edits.
Yeah,
sure.
Facts.
Well, cool. That's the MVP race. I think we can just very briefly touch on offensive and defensive rookie of the year because there haven't really been a whole lot of people that have set themselves apart in this category.
We can just do offense. I don't even know much about the defense. I know
we have Igbuka for offensive rookie of the year. Defensive rookie of the year, we've got one Carson Scheisinger. So, yeah, I think that's about as far as we need to dive into that. Shout out to
balling.
Igbuka's been balling. He's been crazy.
Igbuka's been balling. Sure.
Igbuka's been balling.
And I think he, at least right now, he might be the runaway favorite. Now that Ashton Genty has switched to his Michael Myers stance,
maybe he'll come back into it.
Yeah, he might have a chance to get back into it. And then depending on Amari and Hampton's injury, I haven't seen how serious it is. I don't know how long he's going to be out for.
At least 4 weeks.
Yeah,
he's on my arm.
Yeah.
So.
Not happening.
It's tough news for Gene T too, though, is the only good offensive line on the Raiders, Colton Miller, just got hurt. And I think is out for the next 4 to 5 weeks. So,
but in that Michael Myers stance, it don't matter.
I love when you like draft a player and then you just switch everything about him. It's like you were really good in college by doing this specific thing, but we're going to change everything you just did.
You're not going to do it anymore. You're going to be forced to play the way I want you to play.
It's like what are you doing? It's like if it worked, it worked. Who cares?
Now, I do appreciate that when they interviewed the head coach about it and they were like, hey, he switched his stance back to the standing up. Coach was like, I loved it. He looked great. He needs to do it again. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, as long as the organization recognizes that they were wrong and that Genty needs to go back to being Michael Myers, we're good.
Yeah. Ooh, did you see the video of Baker before the game when he ran out of the tunnel of the fan like, hey,
just talking shit to the fans?
And then he came after the game.
Yeah. Made sure to find the fan again to talk shit after he won. So
God, I love Baker Mayfield.
Dude, Baker.
They need to let him start planting flags. Everyone was talking about like, why do we not have him running out with a flag? Like he needs to start planting flags.
We're on the same wavelength. I was like, ever since he planted the flag at OSU.
Please, I'd be so happy. That, and then also whenever that one game where he was talking shit to the other sideline, he was like grabbing his nuts or whatever. And everyone was like, he's so demonstrative. He has no class. I'm like, bro, fuck class. Yeah, well, I want winners. I want dogs. I don't care about class. This is football.
What's great is before that game, when they went out to shake hands for the coin toss, Baker went to shake the players for Kansas hands, and they just stood there with their hands behind their back.
Yeah, which is what caused him to do it. I'm like, so we don't want to talk about them talking shit.
6 or 7 touchdowns on him, and just from the other sideline, just grabbing him.
That's great. Well, we have our, those are our way too early seasonal awards for the NFL. We also have our own personal awards that we do here weekly on the Fourth Down Fiasco. We have the Big Dog Award, Unsung, and Mr. Fiasco. Gentlemen, I think for the sake of, we always like to end with the fiasco. Let's start with unsung. Tanner, who do we have for our unsung hero of the week?
Oh, we got Mr. Rico Dowdle, who
Rico Dowdle
on the map, dude. I mean,
Rico!
I got to see what his exact yardage was. I mean, he had it over 200.
Yeah, while you look it up, can we give a prop to the Charlotte Hornets announcer coming into the NFL world and balling out?
Dude, I love
that was electric.
Dude, Eric Collins, honestly, like, I think that is such if the NFL wants to continue to get more views and listenership, and that's the route you need to go. He was so much more fun than listening to frickin' Colin Collinsworth or whatever his name is.
Chris
Collinsworth. Thank you, Collinsworth. Chris Collinsworth, and those guys. Hell, I would rather listen to Eric Collins over Tom Brady. That was so much fun.
We've seen the results when Kevin Harlan was announcing games. You brought in Kevin Harlan, legendary basketball announcer, start doing NFL games, and he gives the fucking I'm calling both games. I love Kevin Harlan so much, and I love Eric Collins too.
I saw a tweet. It said, dude, whoever the Panthers announcer is needs to calm down. He said, I was folding laundry, and all of a sudden he went off and just started screaming, and I turned, and it was a 2-yard screen pass.
Hell yeah, it was.
Fuck yeah, dude.
The entire comment was like, shut up.
Yeah,
this is more exciting.
Man.
No, but
emotion.
Dude, and yeah, the way he was calling Dowdle was awesome. When Dowdle, he was halfway on the goal line, and he's sitting there, and he's like, Dowdle, over the line. Yeah, over the line. Because he pushed himself over. It was awesome. Yeah. But yeah, Dowdle had 23 attempts for 206 yards and a tutty. So, I mean, just a monstrous game. I started him in fantasy this week, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, I know you did because you beat me, asshole.
Yeah, get fucked. Shout out Rico Dowdle.
Idiot.
We lost to the bum patrol, dude. 2 and 3.
Dude, you had so many bums that went off this week, and it just because I put up points. I put up really good points.
Yeah, you had a great week.
Yeah, I had a great week and would have beat literally anyone other than I think what is it, Carson?
Max.
I think
Max had 107.
Or Max, yeah. I was killing it this week. And then
I'll read off your fantasy game real quick for everyone who cares, which is a person. But in the quarterback spot, Jordan had Dak Prescott 37.6 points. Tanner Patrick Mahomes 27.9. Jordan had McCaffrey with 28, with Taylor for 33, Adams for 11, Godwin for 4, Washington for 2, Henry for 5.6, Hampton for 12.4, Kamara with 9, Dicker with 6, and the Cardinals defense was 7.4. Then Tanner had Genty for 16.2, Williams for 29.9, AJ Brown for 6, Mr. White Boy Lad McConkey 12.4, Trey Tucker 9.3, Zach Ertz was 0. Javonte Williams 29.6, Rashad White 23.9, Bates for 5, and Eagles defense for 2.3.
Yeah, dude, I started fucking Rashad White and Trey Tucker and still won. That was because my team was injured all hell and all on buys and stuff, and I was like, yeah, Jordan's gonna obliterate me. And
I was projected to, and
yeah, you were projected to beat me 30 points or something. It was bad.
It actually wasn't that. It was only 11. 161 to 150 was the projection.
Dude, the Javonte Williams performance is really what just crushed me, man. And it sucks because it's I will always take a team win for the Cowboys over a fantasy win. Always.
Yeah.
But man, I was definitely sitting there please stop giving him the ball. Please put in a different running back. And they were like, nope, Javonte, go run again.
Dude, the last couple of years, so many people were trying to take Javonte off me while he was on the Broncos because I think we have a lot of Broncos fans in that league. And everybody was trying to Javonte off me, and they were trying to give me bullshit for him. And I was like, no, I'm just gonna hang on to him, and maybe it'll work out. And thank God he went to Dallas, man, because he has been killing it in Dallas. He's been so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been great for us until I have to play you. As long as I don't have to play you, I'm all for Javonte going crazy.
I'm a huge fan of the Cowboys offense. It's really weird for me as a Steelers fan to even remotely care at all about Dallas and not immediately recoil whenever I see them. But I love Dak Prescott so much. I'm a huge fan of Javonte Williams because I've had him in Dynasty for 4 years now. George Pickens is my darling boy. I love him so much. So it's hard. It's hard for me to hate the Cowboys. So congrats to you, Jordan. I just wish your defense wasn't so terrible.
Me too. No, it's funny because with the George Pickens situation, he's been balling out this season. He's got 5 touchdowns. He's truly been our wide receiver one. Especially has stepped up since CD's been out, and hasn't had so far, I'm going to knock on some wood here real quick. Hasn't had any issues, has been a great team player and everything, super happy and all that stuff. And it's been great.
It's the difference between playing with Dak Prescott and Kenny Pickett. I don't blame him.
And so I've been sending different clips to a really good friend of mine, John Lucas, who Danny and I work with. And it's like every week he gets more and more angry, the better and better Pickens gets. And he's just such a hater. And I love it. So, John, if you're listening, you might be, because I think you occasionally tune in. John Lucas, George Pickens is him. Speaking of him, we are talking now, moving on from unsung Rico Dowdle to the Big Dog Award, which, Daniel, who does the Big Dog Award go to?
McDonald's Big Mac Jones.
Woo! Why is that, Daniel?
342, 2 tutties. Only sacked once, but it didn't look like it.
Yeah, it was playing on damn near a broken leg. His knee was twisted all to shit. You said he vomited on the field, right, at one point? Or was that a different quarterback?
He did. Yeah, no, McCorkle. Oh, did I cut out?
No, go.
No, you're good.
Oh, okay, cool. Sorry, it's just everything froze for a second. I was like, oh, shit, we're done. No, McCorkle fucking put on a performance, man. He was killing it. And, yeah, like, I haven't seen – that's one of like the best, like just absolute like warrior performances from a quarterback since maybe the Matthew Stafford breaking his shoulder and finishing the game out. But I mean, he was just getting his ass beat all game. He was playing through injury. He looked tired, like he was exhausted going to that overtime. And literally as he gets him in field goal range, he's coming off the field throwing up because he's so exhausted. Like, but I don't know, dude. Yeah. He's won himself. Like Shanahan, like, there's no way Shanahan's letting him go. After you see someone like that, you're getting a contract, you're staying here. Like, that's the guy you want to come in for relief. And also just really shitty week for Mac Jones too. I don't know if you guys heard, but at his hotel, he saw a dead body like in the bay, like where he was looking out. And he had to get involved with police and get him to help figure out what was going on. But that was literally the day before he played. So he had to like report a dead body, speak with police, do all that, show up to the game like without barely any prep, and went out there and did all that. So I don't know, man. Like Mac Jones is a dog. Like that shit's crazy.
Salute to you, Mac Jones, McCorkle. I mean, again, just because I watched that game. I was actually very impressed with it. I watched a lot of football this week, a lot more than I normally do. I normally only watch Cowboys and then like the tail end of like a Niners or Eagles game just to hate watch. But I sat down and watched some football this week. And dude, especially, man, that fourth quarter, I just felt so bad for him because he was just getting obliterated. The fact that there was only one sack surprises me, but he was just getting absolutely crushed every hit, dude. They were just flying in. That Rams defense is still no joke. And yeah, dude, that pass attack, dude, they were just crushing him. And you would just see him just lay on the ground, and he was like hitting the ground with his fists. And you could tell that the dude's just in pain, grabbing his knee, having to adjust his brace. And apparently, vomiting in OT. There is no greater like warrior performance than something like that. Sure, we could have given the Big Dog Award to someone who threw for 4 touchdowns like Dak or Baker, who had these monstrous statistical performances. Not saying that Mac Jones still put up some damn good stats, but just the sheer destruction to his body and still playing through it because he knew that his team needed a W. Hats off to you, bro.
Wild.
Now, last but not least, we have our favorite award here at the Fourth Down Fiasco, the Mr. Fiasco Award. Bum, bum, bum. We have one, Amani DeMercado. Yes, it sounds very white when it comes off the tongue. That's how it's pronounced. DeMercado avocado, because that brother definitely was feeling green after he fumbled the ball on the one, fumbled it forward, and caused a touchback, which my brother in Christ, my brother Amari, did you not learn anything from last week? Nothing at all. My God.
How we've had it back-to-back weeks is wild.
Has that ever happened before?
I don't think
Probably a
back-to-back
long
weeks.
time ago. But, dude, it's like you were an RB4 to start the year. You got lucky with injuries. Your top 2 running backs got hurt. You get in, bust off an 80-yard touchdown,
It's your shot.
and you just do that.
Bro, not only did he fumble the ball, that brother fumbled millions with that one. Like, to your point exactly, Danny, you were RB4, and you get the opportunity of a lifetime. You break one off. This is your chance to really solidify yourself like, nah, you should play me more and pay me more. And what do? You find a way to relegate yourself back to the bench.
Yeah. He had 3 carries. On his 3rd carry, he busted off a long run.
Fumbled forward and didn't play again for the rest of the game.
Yeah. And got hit by the coach. Coach came over and hit him.
Good.
Yeah.
Knock some sense into that boy.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, my family and I were talking today about like penalties and like dumb mistakes because that's
the NFL has a referee problem. That's all I'm saying.
We can get to the referee problem here in a minute, but we talk about penalties and dumb mistakes because that's what Cowboys fans do because that's something that's ingrained in our culture. And I mentioned that my rugby coach in high school, if we had a game where we had a lot of really dumb mistakes, we would run until he puked, and he never puked. So we just ran until we vomited, and then we would have to continue running. I'm sorry, but Amari better be doing laps until I forget who the head coach of the Arizona is these days. But until he pukes, Amari better keep running. You gonna learn today, brother.
The worst part about it too is like with the Adonai Mitchell one, you can see. I don't know. To me, it didn't feel like it was on purpose. Adonai Mitchell was just reaching the ball out, and unfortunately, just fell out of his hand. Just sucked. Like he was trying to reach over, and he didn't have to, but he wanted to just make something look good. Amari, he just fucking let go of the ball for no reason. Like it didn't even look like a mistake. It just looked like, oh, this is part of my celebration to let go of the ball for some reason.
Sorry, go ahead. I'll go after.
No, you got it.
No, it goes into the celebration culture of what the NFL has turned into. Like he was probably thinking about his first ever touchdown celebration dance at the 30-yard line because he knew he busted one off.
Yep.
And instead of crossing the line, he wanted to go celebrate and make it all a big show. And
that's the difference between I feel like him and Adonai Mitchell's, whereas I don't think Adonai Mitchell was trying to do it as a celebration. I think he just was holding it out, and it sucks. But I want to get into the Cardinals loss a little bit because this is a historic loss. For someone who just loves just absolute horrific losses, I mean, this has got to go on the Mount Rushmore. I was telling everybody, if this was a playoff game, I genuinely think this would go down in the echelon of 28-3. This is how bad this loss was and how bad of a choke job this was. Yeah. So I looked up into it. I brought notes today. So this is the second worst fourth quarter blown lead in NFL history. The last time something nearly as bad as this happened was in the 1987 season. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers blew you're going to love to hear this one, blew a 28-3 lead in the fourth quarter with 12:42 remaining. St. Louis scored 28 unanswered points. This is back when they were St. Louis, back when things were good. St. Louis scored 28 unanswered points. Tampa had a chance to tie with a 53-yard field goal, but it doinked on the crossbar. So Tampa was in position to at least tie it and at least get a chance to win. Arizona didn't get that chance. The Cardinals is arguably worse, blowing it a 21-6 lead with only 12:40 remaining in the fourth. They let up 16 unanswered points through Cardinals miscues. This all follows where in the third quarter, Kyler Murray fumbles when a snap hits him in the face and he watches it fall and somebody drips on it. So then after that, we get the touchback by DeMarcado, right? He does that, total swing. They have a chance to ice the game after the Titans score. So the Titans get up to 21-12. They have a chance to ice it with 4:48 remaining. But after Cam Ward throws an interception, the Cardinals defender doesn't hold on. He fumbles the ball into the Titans end zone for the Titans to recover, making it a 21-19 game. And the worst part is there's only 4.5 minutes left in the game. There's only 4.5 minutes left in the game. The Cardinals have a chance to ice the game. This is a terrible Titans defense. So all they have to do is they have to get 3 first downs, maybe even get away with 2. You don't have to do a lot of work here. They run it 3 times into one of the worst secondaries in the NFL. They run it 3 straight times. Don't even try to get the first down. They go backwards. They lose like 3 yards on that possession. Give it back to the Titans. They don't see the ball again. The Titans win it after a 30. They play man coverage on Calvin Ridley. 30-year-old Calvin Ridley blows past them, gets 40 yards for the game tie or the game-winning field goal, losing it 22 to 21. Like I said, if this was a playoff game, I think this would have a really good shot to be the worst choke ever. Unfortunately, it was a regular season game, but it's still it's got to go up there as the worst regular season choke. Like, I think this 1987 game with the Bucks, like at least it looks like the Bucks were trying to like get something happening in the end, and they were getting close to doing something. I mean, the Cardinals just imploded, and people were hyping up Jonathan Gannon last year. This is tough. Like, I don't know if Jonathan Gannon's really going to be there, especially after them starting. They're at 2-3 now. They lose to arguably the worst team in football.
They lost 3 in a row on game-winning field goals.
Yeah, like this part of this goes down as a coaching problem. Like, I'm sorry, 3 straight games on game-winning field goals. Like,
to support your cause of him might not being there next year, they just announced the Cardinals themselves are fining Jonathan Gannon $100,000 for his sideline altercations with DeMarcado.
Wow.
Really?
Well, and going back to the DeMarcado of it all, with this massive choke job by the Arizona Cardinals, literally if he scores, they win.
Yeah, game's over.
Yeah. He scores, they win. It's as simple. All he had to do was just not fumble it forward.
It was literally like an inch. Like,
yeah,
it is still controversial on the angle that they have. Like, it could be a touchdown.
But it did again. I'm with Tanner on Adonai Mitchell's was bad enough, but Adonai Mitchell's fumble being the first one of the season should have put everyone else in the league on notice of do not do this.
Yeah.
And the fact that it wasn't even like, hey, Adonai Mitchell did this week 1, it's week 14 now, and then DeMarcado does it.
Back-to-back weeks.
Oh, it was back-to-back. That should have been in the back of your brain. That should have been – you should have literally had a conversation. I mean, I'm sure a ton of coaches across the league during film study were like, hey, by the way, this is what you don't do. How do you do that back-to-back weeks, bro? Ridiculous.
And that's the thing is the Cardinals organization also fining Jonathan Gannon for his altercation. That reads to me that people aren't being held accountable in the Cardinals organization player-wise. So when the Steelers lost their game to Seattle, Caleb Johnson, our rookie running back, he lost us that game by not understanding the kickoff rules. He let it just bounce back into the end zone. They got a free touchdown. Caleb has not had a fucking snap since. Like, the Steelers have completely they have been making him work back for it. It's like, hey, you fucked up. You lost us the game. You're going to have to get back to where we were. Sure. The Cardinals, I would not be shocked to see DeMarcado playing again next week, right?
Yeah.
And if that's the case, if it feels like there's no respect given within the organization or the players to the coaches or anything like that, they feel like they can't get held accountable. You're going to have situations where they're going to fumble it for a touchback, or you're going to have a Cardinals defender not just fall on the ball, but instead drop it while they're trying to make a move. And then there's so many ways they could have iced this game. And it's just from mental miscues that I think if you were a more tightly run organization or a team that had a better relationship with your coach, you would have not made those mistakes. Right.
Sure.
It's wild. It's like Jonathan Gannon's a head coach making $1 million a year, and he's just kind of straight ass.
Straight ass.
It's like,
I had other jokes, but I'm gonna keep that to myself.
No, it's a bit like there's so many other qualified people to be an NFL head coach. It's like, why is he one? It's like, you're telling me they can't find somebody
Sure. Well, gentlemen, I think that takes us to the end of our awards segments. All awards, actually, at that. Rapid fire pick'ems, shall we, for week 6? All right, starting us off, Thursday night football, we have the illiterate Philadelphia Eagles traveling out to the New York Giants. Gentlemen?
Eagles.
I'm going to get spicy. I'm going to pick the Giants.
I will never – there will not be a single time this season that I will pick the Eagles. Give me the Giants. I am hate watching the shit out of that game. Next up, we have Sunday. We have the Cowboys traveling out to Carolina to face the Panthers. I'm taking the Cowboys, but I'm a homer.
Cowboys. You skipped the 7:30 a.m. game though.
Where's the 7:30 a.m. game? I don't have that.
Denver, New York.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Weird. On the ESPN website, it has that as the third game. We'll get to it when we get to it. Next on the ESPN docket, we have Seattle Seahawks traveling out to the surprisingly good Jacksonville Jaguars.
That should be a good game.
It's going to be
in Jacksonville too.
It is in Jacksonville. I might go with the Jags on this one just because they've been playing well. Sam Darnold can be a little turnover prone from time to time. And we did see, they have 2 DBs that are in the top 5 for interceptions because Jordan Lewis is also in the top 5.
Give me Jacksonville.
Give me Jacksonville.
I'm taking Jacksonville as well.
Stick. All right, now we have the 7:30 game. The Denver Broncos traveling out to the piss poor 0-5 New York Jets. Denver's going to get the back.
Yeah, give me Denver.
Yeah. Next up, we have the Arizona Cardinals traveling out to Indianapolis to face the Colts. Man, Indiana Jones might just bring you to the Temple of Doom.
We're going to have the touchback battle, man. Both of these teams. So let's see who does it first.
I was about to say over under 2 touchbacks. No, I'm kidding.
Give me Indianapolis.
All right. Indy across the board.
Yeah.
Cool. Next up, we have the LA Chargers traveling out to the 1-4 Miami Dolphins, the very much so struggling Miami Dolphins, the about to lose their head coach Mike McDaniel's Miami Dolphins.
I think the Chargers get a bounce back. They've dropped 2 in a row.
Yeah.
So, well.
They're not dropping 3.
Yep. And, I'm just saying if old boy Herbert continues to lose games, Madison Beer might dump him. So, he's got to win this next one. Next, we have the very surprising 3-2 New England Patriots traveling out to the Saints, who just got their first win but still look like hot ass.
And New England's going to be 4-2.
Yep.
Wow. A Drake May led 4-2 New England Patriots. I agree with y'all.
MVP conversation?
Oh, let's pump the brakes on that one just a little bit. I think that there's some other things at play with that one. We've got the 1-4 Cleveland Browns traveling out to the 3-1 Pittsburgh Steelers. Is this a trap game?
That feels like a trap game.
Is this a trap game, Tanner?
If it was in Cleveland, I would say yes. But I think in Pittsburgh, we're going to take it.
That's why it's a trap game.
Well, we haven't won at home yet this season. So I feel like we're due.
Yeah.
We're due.
No, I'm going to go Pitt on this one. I think y'all take care of business.
Yeah.
Okay. So we all are agreeing Pittsburgh on that one?
Yep, Pittsburgh it is.
All right. Next, we have the Rams of Los Angeles, not to be confused with the Rams of St. Louis, traveling out to Baltimore to face the Ravens. I don't believe that old boy is back yet. So
this could be embarrassing again.
So
if Houston dropped 48 on them, I'm scared to see what the Rams do.
Bro, my boy Matthew Stafford is going to turn the clock back. Puka Nacua might put up 250 yards. Give me the Rams, brother.
Cook up a spicy parlay of Rams spread, Matthew Stafford over 275, and Nacua 2+ touchdowns.
Oh, hey, you heard that here first, folks, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my God, I butchered that. Y'all heard it here first. You know what? Go to signupexpert.com/fiasco. Place a $10 bet because I can't speak English. You heard the parlay. Danny already told you the roadmap for success. And if you win, it's because of Danny. If you lose, it's not because of Danny, legally speaking.
If you win, buy me a beer. If you lose, shouldn't listen to me.
Yeah, why would you listen to the amateurs here, But yeah, I got LA for that one. I don't think it's going to be close. They're pissed about the fact that they lost to an underhanded San Fran team. They're not going to do that again. Next week, this will be a fun game just because both teams are so ass. We've got the 1-4 Tennessee Titans traveling out to Las Vegas to face the 1-4 Raiders. I'm going to go with the Raiders just because Michael Myers is back, baby.
Field day.
Michael Myers might put up 250 yards in this game.
Yeah, give me Raiders, but I am going to take the Titans spread. I think it's going to be a close, grimy game.
Yeah.
I like it. All right, then we have the Bengals at 2-3 going out to the 2-1-1 Packers. Wonder where that extra one came from. Who do you have in that one, gentlemen? I think it's kind of obvious.
Yeah, the Packers are about to
simmer.
The Packers about to pack y'all up, Danny.
The Packers are about to do some bad things.
Joe Flacco has one win on the year. And
is he going to be there in time? Is he actually starting that game?
Yeah.
Oh,
Joe Flacco is starting against Green Bay, and he started against Green Bay 2 weeks ago. And guess what he did? He won. He beat Green Bay.
You know what? I might switch to the other side of this and go with the Bengals if Joe Flacco going to be
Packers
back.
Defense are frauds.
Oh,
Their
absolutely.
offense is all right
at best.
And we have a competent quarterback now who can actually hit an open wide receiver for once in his life.
Oh, you know what? Give me the Bengals after all. Maybe things are looking up for y'all. That's crazy.
It's a trap game for Green Bay.
Oh, absolutely a trap game.
I mean, I'm taking the Packers spread. I mean, what is that? It's at 14.5. Yeah, I think the Packers win by 3 touchdowns.
Dude, it has been so frustrating over the last 3 weeks to see Jamar Chase and T. Higgins just wide open and Jake Browning do nothing.
Joe Flacco might go 400 yards.
Fucking dude, I don't know. Micah Parsons is about to have an insane game.
He couldn't do jack shit against us. Micah's a fraud. It's fine. You know who has more sacks than Micah Parsons? James Houston.
Half the NFL.
James Houston of the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah.
You seen the Bengals line?
Next on our list, we have the underhanded, but damn, they are tough. San Francisco 49ers, who are in 4-1, traveling out across the country to the 4-1 Baker Mayfield-led Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Is this Baker time, fellas?
Give me Baker on a game-winning field goal.
Yeah, I just don't think I'm ever going to pick against the Bucs ever again in my life. So.
Nah, give me Baker. Baker across the board.
Baker,
all right, next we have the 4-1 Detroit Lions traveling out to the 2-3 Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs, who have not looked the same this season. It's been quite
Chiefs
nice.
are about to be 2-4.
They're about to be 2-4?
Chiefs are about to be 2-4.
Man, give me Detroit.
Yeah, give me Detroit.
Give me the upset.
Oh, you're going to go with the Chiefs on this one.
Dude, there's going to be a phantom PI at the end of the game, and we're about to see Kansas City get themselves back into it,
Somehow, yeah.
That's crazy to even say upset and Chiefs in the same sentence like that. But
What did they do to time out? It's not even upset. They're favored by 2.5.
It's the 2025 NFL.
Dude, it's because Vegas knows. They know that those flags are looking to come to play.
They tried it yesterday. Like we saw that pick at the end of the game. Like the dude just tackled the wide receiver.
I mean, dude, but Jacksonville's uniforms were way too spicy for them to lose that game. I mean, come on. They were looking way too clean to lose.
Man.
That's fair.
All right, next we have the 4-1 Buffalo Bills traveling out to Atlanta for a little Monday Night Football. Atlanta being 2-2.
Buffalo's finally on the road.
I know. Yeah, first game outside of Buffalo all season, right?
I saw another tweet. I was like, is Buffalo ever going to play on the road or no?
If they're playing this week and they're going to win this week,
They're playing this week.
Same time zone and like a 2-hour flight though, so they'll be fine.
Yeah.
No, give me Haley Steinfeld's husband for the win on that one.
Yes, sir.
I still want a Haley Steinfeld's husband jersey.
That would be so funny. And then the last game of the week, also a Monday night game. The 2-2 Chicago Bears are going out to Bears. They're going out to DC to face those damn commies. I knew those damn commies were up to no good out there in DC. Commies are 3-2 on the year, though. Who do you have, gentlemen?
Give me the commies.
Give me the commies as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Communist Party of America looks really good this week, so I'm going to have to go with those boys out there in the red and yellow.
I think Acrylic Boy's going to have a good game, though. So.
Oh, man. You know what? I'm going to end the show on that because that was a beautiful note. Yes, we are going to be cheering for you, Acrylic Boy, but we don't think you're going to win. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. This has been the Fourth Down Fiasco. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Fourth Down Fiasco. You can also follow us on Twitter at @4thdown_pod. We would love to get a follow from y'all. And let us know how you're feeling with this week's slate of games. We'd love to hear from you. We love the engagement whenever y'all are willing to do so. But this has been Danny, Tanner, and Jordan saying so long, and thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week.
Hugs and kisses.
Well, I like school, and I like football, and I'm gonna keep doing them both because they make me feel good.